let's hop right into it. Selena,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us and letting us hang out with you and talk about your new brand, Rare Beauty. It's obvious you have so many titles under your belt and so many hats that you wear, and now beauty brand founder is one of those things. And
Yeah.
first thing we want to know is how and when did you know that you wanted to start a beauty brand?
Deep down, I think once I started noticing the intensity of makeup and how much, it's really grown over the past couple of years, I would say. And I've noticed that. And I've also noticed, that sometimes that comes with a lot of pressure and that sometimes, you don't feel like good unless you look like someone else. And I wanted it to be a simple process for anybody that needed to use it. So it can be as light as possible, or it can use multiple layers and the coverage will be thicker. And I wanted everything to feel smooth on my skin. So I wanted this to be a lifestyle. I wanted people to know what that word means and how no one's perfect and we are rare in our own way.
Let's talk about the inspiration behind the name Rare and the word rare and what it means to you.
Yes. This was actually the first song that I recorded for the album. And I knew from the get-go, I said, everything has to follow this song because it was really, really personal to me. What it means to me is that there is no perfection and it won't ever exist. And every single person is meant to be who they are. And I know that's kind of cheesy, but it's the truth. And so I wanted to find and create a brand that made them feel like they should be embraced for exactly who they are and just who they love and who they want to be in life.
And I think that's something that I really love about your message and your brand is just kind of celebrating that individuality. Especially, it's obvious that there's so many makeup brands out there with different messages, but there's always room for improvement and always room for new messaging. And one thing we also want to know is what white space do you find Rare Beauty kind of filling?
I'm hoping that it kind of fulfills the lane of I want to say natural and I want to say, fun. So I would assume that people would want to like put on makeup and feel good, but I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but as far as color and stuff that's coming in the future is going to be so exciting and so much fun. And so I think it's playful. I think it's natural and it's playful. So that's kind of the lane I feel like we're in.
I know, and I'm just personally so excited to see it all launch and come together.
I know, I'm nervous.
Yeah, it must be. But you know what? Let's actually get in. That's perfect segue because let's start talking about just the partnership with Sephora and just the process. So I guess in terms of the partnership, what was your favorite part about creating a makeup brand? Because I assume that it's different from a lot of things that you're used to doing. What was the process like and what was your favorite part?
Learning how everything works was so interesting to me. But I think my favorite process was, picking the colors. We knew we wanted it to have a lot of diversity, and we have 48 shades of color to choose from. And I think my favorite part was making it inclusive and feeling so comfortable that this is going to be something everybody could want to wear or could wear. I don't know. Most exciting is to connect with people. I really love connecting.
And I think that's what your fans and your consumers are going to love most is that you make your brand so relatable and so accessible to you. Because, a lot of people will start brands and then it's just like you could see like the exact line between them. But for you, you're so open and you're really speaking to a community that feels like they know you, even though you may have never met in your life. And I think that's going to be such an amazing point about your brand.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And speaking about Sephora, talk to us about your first memory at Sephora, because we all have them. And we want to know where the journey began and what that moment was like for you.
I was actually just talking about this. I like Sephora is considered my childhood, because I grew up, my mom did a lot of makeup, like she would do plays and stuff. So she would go to the store and pick out all these different things. And when I'd go in there, it was like a candy shop, right? It looks like I want everything in the world and it's just so amazing. But my mom would let me get like the free little things or the samples that I could get for like $5.99.
A little
And
reward.
so, oh yeah, it was like the best. So Sephora has been, I mean, my mom and I spent so much time there growing up for her job, but it's just a part of me growing up. And I haven't stopped there. Even before any of this happened, Sephora's my go-to.
So now your life is basically becoming like full circle.
Yeah.
So thinking about like young Selena who was walking into Sephora getting the samples from her mom, what was it like to know that Sephora was going to be holding the brand, your baby, basically the brand that you're creating? What was that like for you?
It was really exciting. It's kind of like when you get to meet your idol. I remember when I was younger, the first concert I ever went to and the first person that I was obsessed with was Britney Spears, obviously.
Dang.
And
We could go on forever about that, but it's a different conversation.
yes. And so I was going to the Britney concert, and I remember just being in the nosebleeds, obsessed with her. Like she was my idol. And I remember saying, I want to be like her. And then like fast forward a few years later, and I'm sitting down at some event, like just talking with her. Like those moments don't go by easily for me because it's not like I don't care if people are like, oh yeah, well I used to be obsessed. I don't know. It's just, she to me is an icon. And so I was like pouring out my love to her as a fan, but it's like that feeling, it's that feeling where who would have thought that I'd get to be with you, and who would have thought that I'd get my own makeup line in the best like store that I grew up in.
And it is a different feeling, and I couldn't imagine what it's like for you because Britney really just defined our generation. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
So that's such an amazing story, and it just goes to show to everybody too that doesn't matter where you've been, where you come from, like you can make it and you can make it happen for yourself.
Yeah.
And something about you too is like you just kind of like you don't let whatever things that you've done in your life like make you feel any less humble towards these moments. And so I think that's why I'm excited to even carry you at Sephora, and it's gonna be such an amazing partnership. What are you most excited about this partnership with Sephora?
I hope to just create a long-lasting relationship. This is something that I only want to grow, that I only want to have long-lasting and have loyal customers, and that's my goal. And I think that that's something that means a lot to me with Sephora. So I think that having people behind you that care so much about what you're doing is also a huge plus, but knowing that they've done this before, so I feel like I'm in good hands.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And it's just the beginning of something completely amazing. And, you spoke earlier about having a vegan and cruelty-free brand, which I think is going to be very important to a lot of people at Sephora. Why was that so important for you to make sure that your brand was cruelty-free and vegan?
I think everything that I do, I'm very aware of what is going on. Everything is honestly just to be cautious of the world, be cautious of everyone else and their feelings.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're so excited about the brand. We're so excited to have had you on. Before we sign off, we don't know how many details you can share, but are there any details about your brand that are coming up?
I don't know how to say it. Maybe I should say color.
Okay.
That the motion helps. So bad at these. Yes, color is what I'm going to give you.
Color. Okay. Well, we are going to definitely stay tuned. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with us and giving us this rare opportunity to hang out with Rare Beauty. And when can everybody expect to see Rare Beauty Well, I mean, I would say on the shelves, but I don't know if they can go in store. When can they just expect to see Rare Beauty at Sephora ready to buy?
September 3rd.
Or third, we're so excited for
I
it.
can't wait.